Hey, Dana, you go.
We'll call to order this meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Roll call. Dana Bennett, first selectman. To my right is Richard Matter, selectman. To my left is Todd Babbitt, selectman. To his left is Lisa Wood, recording secretary. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, number 3, approval of minutes. October 10, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the October 10th, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 4, correspondence. You received a letter, a thank you letter from the last Green Valley for funding. Number 5, old business. Discussion of possible action on approving a resolution adopting the hazard mitigation and climate adaptation plan update 2023 to 2028. You both have a chance to look at the edits.
The sum and compare the whole thing.
Okay, they're marked on the side with the edit line. Do you want to take a moment to kind of breeze through it?
Well, one of my questions was, did we get any feedback from Fred Marzick? I tried to call Fred.
Yeah, Fred he's on vacation.
So
this
he
week.
didn't answer, and I just was curious.
Yeah, he was okay. He and I met about the edits and he was okay with the edits that we had put in. We talked about them briefly. He didn't really have anything major beyond that. Rich,
Well, I got a couple issues.
okay.
2-12,
Yep,
right at the top, where it says a large 7 megawatt per day solar. I thought that's
that
installed.
was supposed to be taken out. Yeah, that didn't get taken out. I think that had been one of my comments.
And on 213,
Hmm,
where it says fire marshal. It says emergency management director and fire marshal, fire chief and road superintendent. Isn't that director of public works or,
Yeah, I think that should say Director of Public Works there.
I mean, that's your title, right?
Yeah. Okay,
Okay. Uh, 215.
before we go to 215, can we
Okay.
go to 214? Did you ask for this part to be removed on 214? The part that's in red? I don't think that was part of your edits at all.
No, I don't think that would be.
Okay, I think they did that accidentally because they had a paragraph in here about how we had visiting nurses.
Yep.
And one of my comments was to take that out. I think they took this out accidentally. So to me, that should stay. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think
About the fire departments? Okay,
Yeah, some of that's not.
Well, then
some of it
part that
needs,
the part they added though, where it says the 2 fire departments, you know, Griswold and AA Young, that's
Right.
up above. In the first sentence. The 2 companies are Griswold and AA Young. So I'm wondering if what they did here, and then
okay, let's go to 215 then.
it's just, it looks like they repeated themselves on that one sentence.
Right, on that one. Okay, what do you have for number 215 then? Page number 215.
15. Second paragraph, it says the borough and Jewett City has 2 resident troopers.
Correct.
Okay. $219.
Okay.
That first paragraph, the town hall is located, and they crossed out the senior center. Should we put in the alternative school?
Probably.
It's up above in the table.
Yeah, they got it up there, but they didn't put it down
They didn't put it in the narrative.
in the narrative.
Okay.
Um. uh, 863.
Hmm.
Number 8 in the table. It says Deep is planning to breach those 2 dams once funding is acquired. I'm assuming that could be years from now, right?
I don't know when we have that.
Does anybody have any
scheduled.
idea?
That was supposed to be removed.
That's this one, right?
Upper and lower. Yeah, it's on
Yeah,
863.
They didn't have funding in place last I knew.
Yeah.
They were waiting for bond money.
Okay, 864, number 13. And it says, in the status column, it says, the removal might happen in fall of 22 or spring of 23. Well, we're past that already.
Yeah, I did change that note in there. I submitted my stuff.
So yours, what did you say?
I believe it's 24, 25 is where we are now.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable giving us what you might have left, or what do you want to do?
I don't know what Rick just did. I'd like to go through it again. Yeah, concerned with some of that language with the fire company. Make sure we have everything we're supposed to have in there. It looks like they double entered a couple things.
On the fire company part, yeah, I think they did.
Make sure we have that right before I
Okay.
sign.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who had taken that out, so, okay. So should we make a motion to table this?
Make a motion to table the resolution to adopt the hazardous mitigation and climate adoption plan update of 2023 to 2028.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries. B, discussion of possible action on short-term rental ordinance. We do not have the short-term rental ordinance back. We do not have the alarm
Right.
ordinance back, and I think we're waiting on a third ordinance that didn't
I
come back
think-
yet, so.
The last time I think we discussed, there was some inaccurate information in the short-term rental and I had to go back.
Right,
And they haven't met yet, right?
right, they meet November 2nd, so
I'll make a motion to table the short-term rental ordinance until the next regular meeting.
I'll second it.
all in favor? Motion carries. New business A, discussion of possible action on 2 tax refunds for a total of $562.87 as presented by Leona Sharkey Tax Collector.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2 tax refunds for a total of $562.87 as presented by Leone Sharkey Tax Collector.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. B, discussion of possible action on reappointment of James Barney as a member of the Economic Development Commission for a term of 10/29/23 to 10/28/28.
I'll make a motion to reappoint James Barney as a member of the Economic Development Commission for a term of 10/29/23 through 10/28/28.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And C, discussion on possible action on request from Grizzled Pride for use of opioid settlement dollars. That is in your packets.
What was the total we received? You know?
We have about, I think we have about $40,000 in there right now. So we had 2 requests. The second request would be from Matt's Mission.
Mhm.
He is not here. They're getting boxes. From what I recall, that I think we got something from Patrick last week. Were you on that email? So, yeah, so he has one.
One.
Is that
and then
correct?
Miranda was gonna purchase more.
Okay, all right.
So what was the total Miranda was looking for? Is that one sheet?
$1,801.17.
How much?
$1,800 and $1,801.17.
Okay,
Yeah, that
and then,
one sheet that she had with the
but that was for
summary.
Public Works.
This is for that she has 3 locations where she is putting these boxes. One of them would be somewhere around Town Hall in the back. It could either be a standalone cabinet or wall mounted or pole mounted cabinet. She's putting one box at the Borough Building.
That was for the 3,000. Right?
Why does she have, oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry.
See,
Let's go back to her letter instead of these are 2 different documents. So she was looking for.
She's requesting $1,000 for the resident trooper
right,
Right,
and then the 1,800, if I'm not mistaken.
no, I think it's $3,000. Do you know by chance how long she's gonna be? Should we maybe,
She was waiting for the coach to get there. She didn't want to leave.
okay, okay.
She could be walking.
yeah, I thought Matt's mission was asking for the.
Matt's Mission is asking too. So,
3,000. And of that, $1,801 is for Public Works to do the work. No?
No, that's for
Miranda.
That's Miranda.
That's for the up.
That's her invoice for that.
so I think if all told, she's looking for $4,000.
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
She put
Okay.
Money, I know, for the nursing cabinets and the installation of them.
Yep. All right, how about if we
I make a motion to put item 6B down to the bottom of the agenda.
Thank you.
And we can get some clarification.
And may I get a second? Okay, all in favor? Motion carries. All right, let's go to D. Discussion and possible action on request from Matt's Mission for an allocation of $3,000 from the opioid settlement dollars. Would you like to explain to us, one of you? Talk to us about what you're looking for?
Yeah, so that money,
I need your names for that.
oh, I'm so sorry. So it was to bolster our and strengthen our existing programs. We weren't looking to start anything new. But the need is ever growing, so, and we use every last resource, it all goes out. So our main goal was to kind of, because we exist only from donations and community support, volunteer work. So our income is very limited. So in order to keep going, and we are working specifically with the group of people that settlement dollars were for. So yeah, we're just hoping to be able to keep doing what we're doing and do it more as the need increases. Do you have anything to add?
And housing is a big
Oh,
issue
sure.
for people that are released from treatment or incarceration. So if we could get them into housing, pay their rent for 2 weeks, that could be the difference between life and death for them on their path to recovery. And we'd like to continue with our cell phone program, people in recovery, we're giving them cell phones so they can obtain employment. Of course, we have the backpack program with Grizzle Pride.
Yeah.
We need money for transportation, for vouchers, Uber, bus passes, that helps too, to get them to their appointments, to counseling.
Excuse me, and can you just state?
Oh, I'm so
That's-
Kathleen Duffy.
Thank you.
I apologize.
That's
And
okay.
it's really to continue the programs that, we have. We have our phone line and everything's volunteer driven and
And it's working.
And it
We've got
is
a lot of
working.
success stories, yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I'll make a motion to allocate $3,000 from the opioid settlement dollars to Matt's Mission.
I'll second
Any discussion or does anybody have questions? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, we're coming back to yours. Okay. E, discussion and possible action on forming a semi-quincentennial committee. You have the information in your packet. We talked about Lisa called this afternoon, the head of the Historical Society, and talked to her, and she does not have a committee formed yet. She would be interested in having members from their committee on this committee. I think the reason for forming the committee as early as we're talking about right now is because there are no federal dollars for this, like there were for the 1776 celebration. And I think through this letter from Denise Merrill, they're hoping that we can establish a committee now and have enough committees across Connecticut, they can seek out some dollars that would help support celebrations for the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So does anybody have any recommendations on what to do with this? Should we send out requests for people that could join the committee? What would you like to do?
So I do is send out a request to see how many people would like to be on it. So
Any,
that's what I was in there.
any suggestions of members that we would like to see be on that committee?
I would like to see, depending how many we put together, at least 1 or 2 from the Historical Society, I think.
Okay.
Or possibly people that were on our bicentennial committee.
School.
Mhm.
I think we should ask for people that are interested and then maybe see what that comes back at as a base and then determine from there how many members from each category or set up some kind of a structure.
Okay, so can we, I don't know if we want to establish the committee right now, because I wanted to offer the Historical Society some time to talk about it also.
Yeah.
So perhaps we can just take the action of sending a letter right now to people that might be interested. Is that okay?
Yeah, put something on the website.
Point out the ones
Yep.
that we think.
Yeah, I think I came up with a few more, but I must have left. I didn't bring all my notes for that. Okay. So we'll go back to C, discussion and possible action on the request from Grizzle Pride for use of opioid settlement dollars. Miranda, do you want to talk to us about this,
Sure.
please?
So there's, so Miranda Mahoney, Grizzle Pride Project Coordinator. I work for Community Health Resources, who's the fiscal agent of the grant for the Grizzle Coalition. Also a resident too. So the opioid settlement dollars are part of the class action lawsuit, and I believe that the town of Grizzle, over 18 installments, the total to be received will be about $143,000, and that's just this first settlement. Like this first, there could be additional ones coming, like years from now. So one of the things that we're trying to launch a couple things, working with our coalition and our partners. And one is to increase access to naloxone, which is the drug reversal, also known as Narcan, for an overdose. And now that it's classified as over the counter, we are allowed to put public boxes out. So I actually have one because Uncas Health District just donated one to us, which is going to be going up at Paragon. But we are here to officially request one location on the back of the town hall, or a spot anywhere on town hall property. It doesn't have to be in front, it can be in the back, and we would advertise it that way. Purchasing, now that we've got one, purchasing additional two, one for here and one for, we're anticipating the Jewett City Borough Municipal Complex. Again, I'll be going to their meeting and requesting that as well. So at least we have 3 locations for Main Street. As part of my work with the task force, with Uncas Health, I have access to the HIDA overdose tracking system, where I can look at locations of overdoses, find hotspots, maybe the trends for the community. So I know Main Street is a very highly targeted area that would be highly utilized, I believe, for this type of activity. So the Narcan would be free, as Matt's Mission has been able to secure it from the harm reduction program through the state. So we wouldn't have to, there would be no cost of stocking it for now. But it would be, cost. I think I included a quote just so you can see the different options available, the signage that goes along with it. We also want to include some harm reduction supplies in the Narcan cabinets. That would include fentanyl testing strips and xylazine testing strips. And so that is also included in the quote. This is the same vendor that Uncas Health District used too. So they're, highly utilized, I guess, for this type of services. So there's that project. And then also we have 2 drug take back days. The DEA collects medication for disposal twice a year. We've been using the prevention dollars that CHR handles. However, I'd like to switch that to, to reimburse the trooper for their time to conduct the drug take back days, we would reimburse the Jewett City Borough. So I'm just requesting that gets moved to a town account versus the youth prevention programming.
So the full amount that you're requesting right now,
So it's up to, I don't have exact costs because both the town hall and the borough can decide what kind of cabinet they want. As well as I ask for Public Works on what it would cost to install that, but you could bill that to the opioid settlement dollars as part of this project. So I estimated up to 3,000, not for the materials. Now that we have one already, that in total would be less than 3,000, probably more like 2,500. And then additional Public Works fine. And then up to $1,000 per event for the resident trooper, depending on, how their class are in.
You're looking at like 4,500 plus the install,
Mhm.
so $5,000.
I think that would be a good, yeah, reasonable quote.
And then do we also need to talk about where it would be located on town property?
I think that's part of, that was designed for.
So,
If we're gonna mount it, it's gonna have to be somewhere where we have pavement or concrete, so unless we concrete something in to mount it.
So they can be pole mounted, they can be wall mounted, or they're standalone cabinets, like a newspaper stand or something.
I guess figure out first where we'd like it and then go from there on how we're gonna install it, what type.
so because of the needle exchange program being in the back, is that an appropriate place maybe to have that cabinet also then?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Well, somewhere back there and.
Okay.
Maybe you need to look at them before we can figure out what exactly the mount and. how to
Yeah,
do
I
it.
think if we were to approve the 5,000, I think that would be enough to do whatever we have to do, whatever kind of
Okay.
purchase.
Sounds good. Can I get a motion then?
I've got a motion to approve $5,000 from the opioid settlement dollars to Grizzled Pride. Based on the request that was submitted.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion or questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you both. All right, 7, any other business that may properly come before the board?
Do you have any update in the leaf sale on Lake Road?
I do.
We have to add that to the stuff. And I'll make a motion to add any updates on the Lake Road property sale onto the agenda.
Okay, I'm gonna
I'll
second.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, discussion and on the updates of 48 Lake Road, we have an offer that came forward to buy that property plus additional properties that are there, that are in the surrounding area. In looking at those properties, some of them may be wetlands, some of them may be preserved open space. And so we spent a little bit of time this afternoon kind of looking at what's what. I need to go to Mario about that. It will need to go again to planning and zoning probably for an 824 review.
Cause I know.
That's what I've got.
4 or 5 of those, the tax sale where they weren't paying the taxes and town took those smaller.
Correct,
behind
yeah.
them, so.
I think one was taken in 83, one was taken in 91. So I guess the next step also is to ask the attorney, how do we go forth now? Because we had one property and now they're kind of looking for some add-on property that's just kind of sitting there.
Yep.
You know, it could be taxable also, but we haven't received all the information we need to go forward on that. Any other questions? No? Okay. Any other business that may come before the board? No? Okay, so public forum, residents and other community stakeholders have valuable information to offer at public meetings. During public forum, residents should state their name and address for the record. The Board of Selectmen will listen to comments and will most likely not discuss topics. This is an opportunity for the public to share, but not a time for discussion or debate. Public comment should be regarding the duties of the Board of Selectmen and pertain to current items the Board of Selectmen is discussing and deciding. Should be conducted in a civil and orderly manner, being respectful and avoiding the use of names or pejoratives. Each participant has 2 minutes to comment. Mr. Young.
I'd like to ask the selectman, Mr. Babbitt. In Europe, they call him Mr. Babbitt. What happens when you get a big storm and the lines aren't marked with rigs now? They did 138, the state did, and within a week, they painted the road. You told me in a previous conversation, off-gassing prevents the painting of roads. But I like, it's over a year. So is that in the future and perhaps that will road? Fine strike?
Rickertown and Richardson Hill, we reached out to Safety Marking to do the painting. And they're behind schedule due to all the rain. So
I
they're,
can't hear you.
Rickstown and Richardson Hill Road.
Yeah.
We reached out to Safety Marking, which does our painting. And they're behind schedule because of all the rain we've had.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to fit it in, but it is temperature sensitive because we use epoxy. We don't use water-based paint. The epoxy lasts longer. And when we pave with super pave, is what that is. It off gases. They suggest that you don't put epoxy on it for up to 1 year because it will blister, and then when you plow it, all these circles come off because it gets underneath it. So it's kind of wasting your money if you do it that way.
And fluorescence.
Yes, it's got glass beads in the epoxy. So we're hoping we can get it in. We're getting some warm days this week with no rain, so maybe they'll get caught up a little bit, but we are on their schedule. I'm not sure if they're done before the temperature changes and they can't do epoxy.
So it depends upon the vendor.
Depends upon the temperature and the weather right now, if they can get to us. If not, it'll be spring.
Oh, next springtime. Roads which are, the 28 feet wide, will they receive, markings on the side?
Only where we have the horizontal or vertical curve signs will we put white lines on the sides of the road.
One was taken down too.
Sign? I'll have them check it.
Okay, any other public forum? Any other public forum?
My name is Jennifer Gothier. I live at 70 Brown Avenue and I'm one of the registrars of voters for the town of Griswold. It's come to my attention that information is being shared outside the town hall about me relating to the justification for the registrar's pay policy. And I'm here to defend myself because it's detrimental to my character. Starting in 2022, I noticed files on my desk missing, moving, or not where I left them, or not in the order I left them. After several instances, I reached out to colleagues who advised me that because there's no expectation of privacy in a public building, to put a wireless camera at my desk. So I did just that. I placed one behind my monitor, posted a note that said the recordings were in progress, and set them to alert me when someone was at my desk. I was notified 42 times that someone was in my desk, on my desk, or accessing my computer without my knowledge. At that time, I asked the first selectman for a lock and key for my desk. As my counterpart has, it was denied. I asked the first selectman for a unique computer login credential, denied. I asked for a separate email, denied. I started to work at home, take work home. The first selectman.
Jennifer, excuse me, no, this is a personnel issue. This is not,
Nope,
you know, we
I
can,
have a right-
absolutely not. This is not,
I have a right. to
Jennifer,
speak. I have a
I'm
right to
absolutely not. Is there any other public
speak.
forum?
There is. Would you like me to just?
Is there
release
any
this
other
to the
public forum?
Would you like me to just release it to the public and let them know that you access my computer and my files without my knowledge?
I have not accessed your computer and your file without my knowledge, without your knowledge. And if I did, we have a policy that allows that. Is there any other public
There is,
forum?
because that is the reason why I don't come. to this
Excuse
town
me,
hall, because I
would you
want
tell me,
to
please?
stop. I have lost all trust in your administration. which
You know
is
what,
why
Jennifer? This is not public forum. Stop. Is there any other
this
public
is
forum?
public forum.
This is, what you are talking
very
about is not public
It is,
forum.
because you
This
never
is, you know what?
Stop.
This is a
I know.
personnel issue.
Okay, so it is a
It is
personnel
a
issue.
personnel issue
It
and
is,
we
but
are,
then you've
I have
never
asked
spoken
you,
to attorneys about this issue.
I
and
have-
Find out about it at a conference I went to last week. You have
I
done this.
have
I-
asked you repeatedly if you wanted to have a meeting with the Board of Selectmen.
And I asked.
And
that,
you
and
have
I said,
denied
Okay, so
wanting to do
I
that.
would like to just finish my statement. That's it.
This
That's
is
all.
not, this is a personnel issue.
It
I'm
is not a
happy to meet
personnel
with you,
issue. I am
Jennifer.
asking for
I am
advisory.
happy to meet with you.
No, I'm.
Is
not
there
meeting
any
with
other
you.
public forum?
There is. I have 42.
Is there
recordings of
any
you on my
other public
computer.
forum? That is absolutely false.
It isn't because I. can
That
show
is
them to you.
absolutely
I can
false.
show them to
There
you.
is no way that I have been on your
On
computer.
June 20th.
Is there any other public forum?
On June 20th, when I told
Excuse-
you that I had
Frank,
meetings at
go
the
ahead.
Secretary of State's office, you denied my ability to get reimbursed because I wouldn't tell you what they were. about.
Jennifer, this is again, a personnel
No, it
issue.
is
I've
not.
asked you
It is not.
repeatedly.
June
Yes,
20th,
it
you
is.
testified About my meetings at the Secretary of
Is
State.
there
The
any
only
other
thing that
public
is
forum?
Off the suspect that your policy for pay came out June 27th. immediately to be.
It had nothing, I don't know what you're,
You
we're
don't know
not
what
gonna
you're talking
discuss this
You
right
don't know
now.
about the reimbursements for mileage that you're denying?
Jennifer, this is
I'm
a
going to ask the
personnel
Board of
issue.
Selectmen.
If you would like to schedule a
don't.
meeting with us, we're
I
happy to
don't.
schedule
I
a
want it
meeting.
to be public. I want the people to know what you
This
did.
is not,
I
you
want-
are, look, I'm telling you what, this is not appropriate. This is not the
It's
place to
not.
talk about it.
You are out
If you want
sharing
to
our
talk about it.
selectmen, and you're not
Is there any
allowed
other
to tell
public
people
forum?
That you access my computer and my.
Look,
phone without my knowledge.
there
And
is-
that's the reason why I don't come to the town hall, because I don't trust.
This
you.
is
That's it.
absolutely false.
It is.
It is
Would you-
false
So the
information.
recordings are at the Secretary of State's office and the SEEC. If
It
you'd
is
like copies of
false
them, I'm sure I can
information.
Provide them to you.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Is there any
So
other
then
public
the only
forum?
Comment I'd like to say is that the last time I recorded you was when you were talking about my reimbursement to my counterpart, and you said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of her." 7 days later.
Jennifer, I
7
have
days
no
later, your policy
idea
comes out.
what you are talking about.
You don't?
Is there any other public forum?
Do you have an
I
answer
have-
for why you access
ex-
my files without my permission?
I have no answer.
Okay,
This is
so
not
thank you.
appropriate
That's
public
all.
forum.
Because you don't want to answer. I have submitted.
I have asked you
multiple
multiple times,
requests in 10
mul-
weeks, and
and you know,
you have not returned any.
yes, you have, you've had lots of emails from me.
You have not.
You
Show
have
me.
lots of emails from me. Excuse me, this is not appropriate.
10 weeks.
Is there any other public forum?
10 weeks for an FOI request?
Please, I'm going to ask you to leave
Why?
because
I'm
I
asking you
have
a
other
serious
people
question.
that are wanting public
Because you
forum.
don't want people to know the truth. That's why.
You know what? I have plenty of off things, but this is not an appropriate
You have
time.
plenty of off things
This
to
is
do.
not an appropriate time.
You won't meet with me any other time, and anytime I talk to you, you box me out. So this is the only opportunity I get for people to understand.
It
why
is
I don't
not-
Deal with you.
We
I
have
don't
asked you
trust
repeatedly
So then
to
why
come
do you
in
allow
for meetings with the
yourself
Board of
to talk
Selectmen.
about me in emails outside of town hall without.
I
my
have
permission?
no idea what
You
staff,
don't?
I don't
Or
monitor
CC.
what staff are doing.
Your finance director didn't send a message to the Board of Finance about the pay policy. If you tell me no, I'm gonna call you a liar because you were CC'd on that. email
Were
that I saw.
you you requested information, I thought, from the Board of Finance. Okay, this is not appropriate. Your 2 minutes is up. Is there any other public
My
forum?
2 minutes is up, but you failed to answer me. That's the reason I don't come to town hall. I've lost all.
You
faith
know
in
what?
and all trust.
Stop.
Stop.
This
Why?
is false
It
information.
is? Would you like
It
to
is
see them?
false information.
Would you like to see them?
Is there any other public forum?
That's all I have to say. I
We had
would,
somebody behind you.
I
Is
would,
there any other public forum? Do you want, go ahead, please.
I would propose that.
No, I'm not, it's not you. You are done.
I am.
This is not appropriate.
It's not appropriate. It's public comment. I am a public person. and
Yes,
I
but I've asked you repeatedly to come and meet with the selectmen.
Talk about.
What do you think you're doing in this room? You are giving a lot of
People
false
what happened,
information.
Because I couldn't.
You are giving a lot of false information in here.
Going on the primary ballot, and I didn't, did I?
False
Yeah.
information, I'm sorry. Any other public forum? Mr. View, do you want to go? I don't, I have another person, but he's not
I'll
going.
respect Those 5 FOI requests.
You know what? You've had your information from
I
me.
don't- you don't-
You're not responding to, you're not responding to the emails, okay?
You're telling me that I have to pay $80 for
Stop.
something I asked.
Go
for?
ahead, Mr. View. If you
That's
have a,
illegal.
do you have public forum?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Good.
My question will probably upset you just as much, but it's the
Mr. View.
61,
Mr. View.
oh, Dave View, 59 Leah Road. Or Leah Avenue, the Petrillo property, 61 Voluntown Road. Is that, anything moved on that? The clerk of courts has no record on it whatsoever. So
The clerk of courts in
in New London and Norwich, I called both to see if they had any record of it.
Yeah, it has moved. I have an email from a couple of weeks ago, so I can't tell you where it is as far as the court is right now. But it's in process requesting a law day. That's
Okay.
all I know. Okay. Any other public forum? Yes.
Frank Everett, 221 Leicester Road.
Thank you.
The board of selectmen know there are 21 towns in New London County.
There's 30, well, yeah, there are 21 in New London County.
And then more than what I do. Do you know that we're the only one of the 21 towns that did not file a state mandated affordable housing report?
Yes.
Can you explain why
Yes.
we did not do that?
I had somebody lined up to do it. It came about in our budget process in early 2022. Nobody had started this. The town planner brought it to us in early 2022, probably March or April, asking for money for somebody to write that. But that was going to go on the next budget starting July 1, 2023. That did not get approved. I brought in on September 2022, after the date had passed, brought to planning and zoning a person that was able to write that and that was able to fulfill some other duties for planning and zoning. That was denied. And it's a planning job that has not been accomplished. So I have again reached out to somebody else that we can contract with that can write that because it's not getting done. So yes, we're aware.
I'm concerned because this community has worked hard in the last 8 to 10 years. This part of the state does not get a lot of money from the west end of the state, all right? And this gives us a huge black eye to go in for grants and funding for our projects, the betterment of this town.
Understand. You do realize we got $8.7 million for the water infrastructure. And part of that is because of my discussion with them about the housing. So they are well aware in Hartford of that situation. So the housing plan needs to be done. There's actually a lawsuit though about housing in the state of Connecticut. I don't have that lawsuit with me right now. The town planner has referred to that, but there's been a lawsuit that was decided in a manner so that towns really do have the right to plan their zoning and to plan their housing for a community. I don't know where that's going to go. I think that came about after legislative session. So that could be changed with the next legislative session. But at this point, that ruling stated that towns really have the opportunity to decide how much affordable housing they will have. We had 8% or more at one point. We have the planned housing that's coming in with Heritage River. That will get us very close to that 10%. We're not there yet. But yes, we understand the housing plan and we understand trying to obtain money because we have gotten a lot of really good money in the town. Miranda just got federal money for Griswold Pride.
I just don't understand if it's state mandated, why the funding just doesn't come out of our general account.
The funding
Things
for,
State mandate us to do and we fund it. I find it that's a weak excuse that we couldn't approve the funding to do something that 20 other towns did, some of them smaller towns.
Mhm.
I just find.
Well, that would have been the Board of Finance.
Yeah,
so-
but I still find it bad.
Mhm.
Front page, your name's in it.
I know, I'm well aware. And I just explained to you what the process has been.
So I and the other residents of the town can expect action in the near future on this.
Absolutely. I have an email right here that I put out to the consultant that I tried to hire in September of 2022 when it wasn't done. So
Did we put that out the bid or are we just sole sourcing?
I have reached out to him. I don't know if it'll be over $7,500 or if it'll be a $5,000. I don't know at this point. So I can't answer that.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Any other public forum?
Melissa Cassidy, I want to speak to the planning and zoning comments that was just made. I'm a planning and zoning alternate member.
Excuse me, Melissa.
Melissa, 181 Kimball Road. We were brought forward somebody at September of 2022. It was as a replacement to someone who is not currently like out on leave. We did not know, it wasn't like we denied it because we didn't want this plan to be written or have the right to do so. And then my other comment I just want to make, I know that the register of voter pay has been a comment that has been lasting for months. I just want to know on record that I reached out to the Democratic Register of Voters for some stuff for the primary. I actually reached out to both register of voters and I was given the information quickly by the Democratic Register of Voters at the time, who did not really need to help us, but that we were issued all the information we wanted. And so I do think pay should be awarded.
Any other public forum? Is it a different topic?
It is a different topic. So it's Jennifer Gothier, 70 Brown Avenue, regarding the affordable housing plan. So that is a state requirement. You're required to notify OPM. The last correspondence we have from the first selectman is from September of 22, saying that it would be complete and returned by October of 2022. We have received no correspondence since then with any update.
You're right. Any other public forum? Mr. View.
Dave View, 59 Lee Avenue. Regarding these, this is probably the sixth time this has come up. If there's labor disputes in the town, can't they go to the state labor board? If there's wage disputes, can't they go to the state labor board?
Again, this is not something we'd reply on, but go ahead.
Okay.
Any other public forum? Any other public forum? Okay. Adjournment,
Make a motion to adjourn.
all in favor?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Just figured taking it to the labor board and save us listening to it.
Yeah, I'm not an employee though, I'm an elected official.